Detroit just had population growth for the first time in 70 years. Nashville added 250 people per day for 4 straight years, and the roads are designed for 2005. And Miami is building billion-dollar brickle towers on streets that flood during high tide from the moon, not storms. By the end of 2026, 7 American cities will be completely unrecognizable. And if you're still wondering why your rent doubled or why traffic suddenly feels like LA, this is why. The smart money already moved 18 months ago. This is the countdown of transformations that are already done, ranked by how completely they've remade the map. And if you're tired of reading think pieces about the future of cities while watching your own city become unaffordable in real time, you need to see what already happened while everyone was arguing about remote work. Let's start in the Midwest, where Intel just made the biggest manufacturing bet in Ohio history, and the locals who knew about it already bought. Number 7. Columbus, Ohio. The Intel Awakening. Columbus was never supposed to be sexy. It was insurance companies, Ohio State football, and test markets for chain restaurants. The kind of place corporations used to figure out what average America wanted. Affordable, stable, boring. The city you moved to when you were done chasing dreams and ready to buy a house with a yard. That script just got torched. In January 2022, Intel announced a $20 billion semiconductor manufacturing facility just outside Columbus in Licking County. Not a research lab, not a regional office. 2 massive chip fabrication plants that will be operational by late 2025, fully ramped by 2026. We're talking 3,000 direct Intel jobs with average salaries over $135,000. That's what 3 public school teachers make combined in Ohio. Plus another 7,000 construction jobs that are already visible if you drive Route 161. The cranes are already there. The roads are already clogged. The transformation isn't coming, it's happening. Zillow data shows the impact in real time. New Albany, the suburb closest to the Intel site, saw median home prices jump 23% in 2023 alone. Houses that sold for $425,000 in 2021 are now listing at $580,000, and they're going under contract in under 10 days. According to the Columbus Board of Realtors, inventory in Delaware and Licking counties hit record lows in 2024 because everyone with inside knowledge already bought. The smart money moved 18 months ago, but here's what makes Columbus different from every other Midwestern next big thing story. The infrastructure was already there. The city spent the last 20 years building out fiber, upgrading water systems, and annexing strategically. When Intel came calling, Columbus didn't have to scramble. They had shovel-ready sites and a workforce pipeline through Ohio State's engineering programs. This wasn't a Hail Mary. This was a city that did the boring work and got rewarded for it. The downtown is responding too. Zillow shows downtown Columbus condo prices up 34% since 2022. The Arena District, which was half-empty surface lots in 2020, is now a forest of residential towers. A local realtor told us off the record, "We're not selling Columbus as cheap anymore. We're selling it as the next Austin, except people can actually afford to get in before it tips." Picture this. Early morning in New Albany, December 2025. You drive past the Intel construction site on your way to work. 2 fabrication plants the size of shopping malls rising out of former farmland. Cranes everywhere. Hard hats by the thousand. Your neighbor just accepted a $140,000 offer from Intel to do facilities management. The house across the street sold in 4 days to a cash buyer from California who's relocating for the launch. And you realize, Columbus isn't the backup plan anymore. It's the plan. By 2026, Columbus will have white-collar tech jobs, blue-collar manufacturing jobs, and a cost of living that still makes sense. That combination doesn't exist on the coasts anymore. The city that was never supposed to be exciting just became the safest bet in the Midwest. But if you think Intel in Ohio is a big swing, wait until you see what Taiwan is building in the desert and what they're building it on top of. Barntucker 6. Phoenix, Arizona, the TSMC reckoning. Phoenix has always grown fast, but what's happening now isn't growth, it's a forced evolution. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company is building a $40 billion advanced chip facility in North Phoenix. Not one building, an entire campus that will produce 3nm chips, the most advanced semiconductors on the planet, starting in 2025 and fully operational by 2026. This is the factory that makes the chips for your iPhone, your car, your entire digital life, and it's being built in a city that's adding 100 people per day and running out of water. The numbers are staggering. TSMC is hiring 4,500 direct employees with average salaries over $90,000. Taiwanese engineers engineers are already relocating en masse. According to Redfin, North Phoenix and Scottsdale saw a 19% increase in all-cash foreign buyer purchases in 2023 and 2024. Most of them traced back to TSMC-adjacent professionals setting up before the official opening. The housing market isn't reacting to TSMC, it's front-running it. Median home prices in Phoenix hit $543,000 in late 2024, up from $383,000 in 2020. That's a 42% jump in 4 years in a city that was supposed to be the affordable Sunbelt option. And here's the kicker, $543,000 in Phoenix gets you what $275,000 gets you in Columbus. Except Columbus has the Great Lakes, and Phoenix has canals running dry. Maricopa County data shows building permits up 67% year over year, concentrated in the northern suburbs near the TSMC site. Developers aren't building for Phoenix's current population. They're building for the one arriving in 2026. Picture this, June afternoon in North Phoenix, 2025. It's 117 degrees, the kind of heat that makes your car door handle a burn risk. You're touring the TSMC construction site. Thousands of workers in hard hats, concrete being poured 24/7, air conditioning units the size of school buses keeping the clean rooms at 68 degrees, while the parking lot asphalt is literally soft underfoot. Your Taiwanese hiring manager explains the campus will use 4.7 million gallons of water per day when operational. You look west toward the empty canals from Lake Mead, at the brown ring around the reservoir that marks 23 years of drought, and think, where exactly is that water coming from? He doesn't answer. Nobody does. But here's the reckoning Phoenix hasn't solved: water. The city sits on the Colorado River system, which is in its 24th year of drought. Lake Mead is at 27% capacity. The Central Arizona Project, which supplies 50% of Phoenix's water, is already under restrictions. And now the city is adding a semiconductor fab that uses 4.7 million gallons of water per day, plus tens of thousands of new residents who will need to shower, water lawns, and fill pools. A local water policy analyst told us, "We're building the future on a resource from the past. Something has to give." A TSMC facilities manager told us off the record, "We're not worried about water. We have contracts through 2040. It's everyone else who should worry." That's the Phoenix transformation in one sentence. The new economy has guaranteed water rights. The existing population gets to negotiate over what's left. Phoenix's response: mandatory dense development near transit, xeriscaping requirements, and a quiet acknowledgement that the sprawl model is dead. By 2026, Phoenix won't just look different because of new buildings. It'll look different because the city is fundamentally rethinking what a desert metro can be while pretending it has the water to do it. The transformation is operational, undeniable, and completely unsustainable unless Phoenix reinvents itself faster than it's growing. At least Columbus had the infrastructure ready when Intel came. Phoenix is building a semiconductor empire in a drought and hoping engineering solves what nature won't. And if Phoenix is scrambling to build infrastructure for a boom, our next city already buckled under the weight. Number 5. Boise, Idaho, the California overflow endpoint. Boise used to be the punchline, the place Californians fled to when they wanted 4 seasons, low taxes, and to never hear a car alarm again. Quiet, affordable, safe. A city of 230,000 that felt like a big town. That Boise is gone. Between 2020 and 2024, Boise's median home price went from $350,000 to $557,000. That's a 59% increase in 4 years, making it one of the fastest appreciating markets in the country. According to the Boise Regional Realtors, 43% of home buyers in 2023 came from out of state, with California, Washington, and Oregon leading the pack. These weren't retirees. These were remote workers in their 30s and 40s cashing out 800,000 Bay Area condos and buying 550,000 Boise houses with cash, outbidding locals who were already stretched. The city added 14,000 people in 2023 alone. The schools are over capacity. Traffic on I-84 went from a minor annoyance to a legitimate commute problem. A local city planner told us, "We planned for growth. We didn't plan for this." Boise's infrastructure was designed for steady 2 to 3% annual increases, not the 15% population spike it actually got. But here's where Boise's story gets more complicated. Micron Technology, the semiconductor giant, is expanding its Boise operation with a $15 billion investment that will add 17,000 jobs by 2026. Phoenix. This isn't California overflow anymore. This is Boise becoming an actual economic engine. The city is simultaneously a bedroom community for remote workers and a manufacturing hub for advanced memory chips. Downtown Boise reflects the chaos. Zillow data shows downtown condos and lofts up 48% since 2021. The Basque Block, which was a sleepy cultural district, is now surrounded by cranes and luxury apartment towers. Restaurants that were local favorites are being priced out by landlords who know they can charge double to incoming tech money. Picture this: Saturday morning in downtown Boise. You smell coffee from a local roaster that's been there since 1998. Hear construction from 3 different high-rise projects, and watch California plates outnumber Idaho plates in the Whole Foods parking lot. The breakfast spot you loved just closed. Not because it failed, but because the building sold to a developer building luxury urban living, and the owner couldn't afford the new lease. It's charming and disorienting in equal measure. And by 2026, the charming part will be the memory. Boise didn't choose this transformation. It got chosen. And the city that Idahoans loved for being the opposite of California is rapidly becoming California light. Whether it likes it or not, Phoenix is building a future on a water crisis. Boise lost its future to an affordability crisis that happened in 48 months. But at least Boise was surprised by its growth. Our next city invited the chaos and is now living with the consequences. Number 4. Austin, Texas, the tech honeymoon ending. Austin spent the 2010s selling itself as the cool alternative to Silicon Valley. Cheaper, weirder, more fun. Keep Austin weird wasn't just a slogan, it was the brand, and it worked. Tech companies came, then they came faster, then they brought everyone. By 2026, the honeymoon is officially over. Tesla's Gigafactory is fully operational east of Austin, employing 20,000 people. Oracle moved its global headquarters to Austin in 2020 and now has 10,000 employees in the metro. Samsung is building a $17 billion chip plant in Taylor, just outside the city, that will be online by late 2025. Apple's Austin campus has 6,000 employees and is expanding. This isn't a tech hub, this is a tech capital, and the city is breaking under the weight. Zillow data shows Austin's median home price hit $627,000 in 2024, up from $403,000 in 2019. That's a 56% increase in 5 years. According to the Austin Board of Realtors, the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in central Austin is now $1,850, which is higher than Houston, Dallas, and most of the South. Austin used to be where you went to escape expensive coastal cities. Now it's become one, but the real transformation isn't the prices, it's the traffic. Austin's I-35 corridor is now ranked the 8th most congested highway in America, worse than sections of LA's 405. The city added 180,000 people between 2020 and 2024, but the roads were built for the Austin of 2000. A local transportation analyst told us, "We're adding 150 people per day to a street grid designed for 800,000 people. We're at 1.1 million now and headed for 1.3 million by 2027. The math doesn't work." The weird Austin is gone. South Congress, which was vintage shops and taco trucks, is now luxury condos and $18 cocktail bars. East Austin, which was the last affordable neighborhood, saw home prices jump 89% since 2020. The murals are still there, but they're now backdrops for Instagram photos by people who moved here 6 months ago. Picture this: 5 p.m. on Mopac Expressway. You sit in dead-stop traffic, surrounded by Teslas and California plates, wondering why you left the Bay Area for this. Your rent is $2,400 for a 1-bedroom in a building that didn't exist 3 years ago. You can't afford to buy, you can't afford to leave. And the breakfast taco truck you loved just got priced out by a developer building luxury urban living. Sound familiar? That's because it's the same story as Boise, except Austin did it with 10 times the population and 50 times the traffic. Austin won the corporate relocation wars. The prize? Becoming the thing it was supposed to replace. By 2026, the transformation from cool, weird city to congested tech hub will be complete, and everyone who moved here for the old Austin will finally realize they killed it by showing up. But if Austin sold its soul for economic growth, our next city is building a fortune on top of a ticking clock. Number 3. Miami, Florida. The climate contradiction. Miami is experiencing the most contradictory transformation in America. It's simultaneously booming and sinking. The boom is undeniable. Since 2020, Miami has become the East Coast's finance and crypto capital. Citadel, Blackstone, Goldman Sachs all opened Miami offices. Hedge fund managers left New York during the pandemic and never went back. According to the Miami Association of Realtors, the city saw $24 billion in luxury real estate transactions in 2023 alone. Brickell, the financial district, is adding 47 residential towers between 2024 and 2026. The skyline is unrecognizable from 5 years ago. Median condo prices in Brickell hit $785,000 in 2024, up 52% from 2020. That's more than an entire house costs in Columbus, and it gets you 900 square feet with a water view that might be a little too close in 20 years. Edgewater, Wynwood, and the Design District are all experiencing similar spikes. Miami Beach single-family homes now average $3.2 million. This isn't a housing market, it's a wealth consolidation machine. High earners from New York, California, and internationally are buying everything, and they're not slowing down. But here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Miami is also flooding. According to NOAA data, Miami experiences king tide flooding 6 to 8 times per year now, up from 2 to 3 times in the early 2000s. Brickell Avenue, the main artery of the financial district, floods during high tides. Not from storms, from the moon. Seawater comes up through the stormwater drains because the ocean is literally higher than it used to be. Miami Beach spent $500 million on pump systems and raised streets, but the water keeps coming. Picture this: October 2025, king tide morning in Brickell. You're in a $2.1 million condo on the 8th floor. Espresso machine running, floor-to-ceiling windows framing Biscayne Bay. You look down at Brickell Avenue where seawater is pooling around the Porsches in valet parking. Not from rain. The moon did this. You watch a Range Rover splash through 6 inches of Atlantic Ocean to reach the equinox. Your building's lobby has pumps running 24/7. The sound is constant, mechanical, like living above a dentist's office. Outside your window, a crane is building another glass tower next door. 50 stories of luxury condos starting at $1.2 million. The structural engineer told the investors about sea level rise projections. They built anyway, and you realize everyone here is making the same bet, that they'll cash out before physics does. Insurance companies are fleeing Florida entirely. Citizens Property Insurance, the state-backed insurer of last resort, now covers 1.1 million Florida policies because private insurers won't touch the risk. Homeowners insurance in Miami-Dade County averages $6,000 per year, triple the national average, and it's going up. A climate scientist at the University of Miami told us off the record, "We're building the most expensive real estate in America on land that will be underwater in 50 years. It's not a question of if, it's when." A condo developer we spoke to in Wynwood shrugged and said, 50 years? I'll be dead. My buyers will have sold 3 times by then. We're not building for 2075. We're building for 2028 resale. That's Miami's transformation. Build luxury, sell fast, let the next owner deal with the Atlantic. Boise lost its affordability to California overflow. Austin lost its soul to corporate relocations. Miami is losing to the ocean, and nobody's stopping construction. By 2026, Miami will have a skyline that rivals Manhattan and flood maps that show half of it underwater by 2070. It's the ultimate contradiction. Billionaires building palaces on a foundation that's dissolving in slow motion. The transformation isn't just visible, it's temporary. But if Miami's building despite physics, our next city is rebuilding despite history. Number 2, Detroit, Michigan, the resurrection no one saw coming. Detroit was the punchline for 70 years. The city that collapsed, the bankruptcy capital, the place people fled from, not to. Empty towers, burned out blocks, a downtown that looked like a museum of industrial failure. By 2026, that narrative is dead. Start with the numbers. Downtown Detroit's office occupancy rate is 73%, higher than San Francisco, Seattle, and Portland. According to Zillow, median home prices in Midtown and downtown Detroit are up 312% since 2020. A house in Corktown that sold for $85,000 in 2018 is now worth $340,000. These aren't statistics. These are seismic shifts. The driver, electric vehicles. Michigan is building 4 major EV battery plants in the Detroit metro by 2026. Ultium Cells in Warren, Our Next Energy in Van Buren Township, LG Energy Solution in Holland, and Ford's Blue Oval Battery Park in Marshall. These aren't car car assembly plants. These are advanced manufacturing facilities producing the lithium-ion cells that power the EV revolution. Combined, they represent over $12 billion in investment and 15,000 plus jobs with average salaries over $75,000. Detroit's population, which had been in freefall since 1950, stabilized in 2022. The 2024 census estimates actually show a slight increase of 1,800 people, the first population gain in 7 decades. According to the Detroit Regional Chamber, the city added 4,300 housing units in 2023 alone, concentrated in the downtown and midtown corridors. These aren't renovations. These are new builds in neighborhoods that were parking lots 5 years ago. The cultural transformation is equally stark. The Corktown neighborhood, which was empty storefronts and boarded windows in 2015, is now coffee shops, breweries, and Ford's Michigan Central Station restoration, a $950 million project that reopened in 2023 as Ford's EV Innovation Campus. Brush Park, which was literally urban prairie in 2010, now has Victorian homes restored to $800,000 plus valuations and new infill townhomes selling for $450,000. A local developer told us, Detroit in 2015 felt like documenting a corpse. Detroit in 2025 feels like we're building a city from scratch, but we get to keep the bones. The bones are spectacular. Beaux-Arts towers, Art Deco masterpieces, a riverfront that rivals Chicago. They were just empty. Now they're full. But here's the critical thing about Detroit's transformation. It's still cheap. A renovated loft in Midtown runs $275,000. A new build townhome in Corktown is $380,000. Miami gets you 900 square feet for $785,000. Detroit gets you 1,800 square feet of history for half that. These are prices that don't exist in any other comeback city. You can still get in, but that window is closing fast. By 2026, Detroit will no longer be the city that died. It'll be the city that came back from death and became the template for Rust Belt reinvention. The resurrection nobody saw coming is the one that's already happened. Columbus got Intel, Phoenix got TSMC, Boise got California, Austin got congestion, Miami got the ocean, Detroit got a second chance and somehow didn't blow it. But if Detroit's comeback was unlikely, our number one city's transformation was inevitable, and that's what makes it terrifying. Number 1. Nashville, Tennessee, the Southern Metamorphosis. Nashville didn't just transform, it detonated. In 2015, Nashville was country music, hot chicken, and bachelorette parties. A fun weekend city with affordable housing and a quirky downtown. Median home price, $254,000. Population, 660,000. A city you could still figure out. By 2026, Nashville will be unrecognizable, and it happened faster and more completely than any city on this list. Start with the corporate relocations. Oracle moved its East Coast headquarters to Nashville in 2021, bringing 8,500 jobs. Amazon opened a 5,000 employee operations center in 2022. AllianceBernstein relocated from New York with 1,100 employees. Asurion, Bridgestone, and Community Health Systems expanded. Nashville went from Music City to Fortune 500 magnet in under a decade. The population growth is unlike anything in the South. Nashville added 91,000 people between 2020 and 2024. That's 250 people per day, every single day for 4 years straight. To put that in perspective, Austin added 180,000 in the same period with 3 times the land area. Nashville is absorbing Austin-level growth in a third of the space. According to the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce, the metro is projected to hit 2.1 million by 2026, up from 1.67 million in 2015. That's a 26% population increase in 11 years, and the housing market detonated with it. Zillow data shows Nashville's median home price hit $475,000 in late 2024, up from $254,000 in 2015. That's an 87% increase in 9 years. Austin took 10 years to go from affordable to unaffordable. Nashville did it in half the time. East Nashville, which was the last affordable neighborhood for locals, saw prices jump 134% since 2020, faster than any neighborhood neighborhood in Austin, Phoenix, or Boise. Germantown, the historically working-class neighborhood next to downtown, now has luxury condos starting at $650,000. The Gulch, which didn't exist as a neighborhood in 2010, now has average condo prices of $890,000. According to Redfin, 58% of Nashville homebuyers in 2023 came from out of state, the highest percentage of any major metro. California led the pack, followed by New York, Illinois, and Florida. These weren't people looking for country music. These were people leaving high-cost cities for more affordable options. Nashville became the southern replacement for expensive coastal markets. Warm weather, job opportunities, culture, and a business-friendly environment that attracted the corporate relocations driving the transformation. But Nashville's infrastructure is imploding in real time. I-4040, the loop around the city, is now one of the most congested highways in the South. I-65 through downtown is a parking lot from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. The city's public transit system is a bus network designed for 1990s ridership trying to serve 2020's demand. A transit referendum failed in 2018, and the city still has no rail, no subway, no light rail, nothing. Traffic to the airport, Broadway, or basically anywhere is a 45-minute negotiation with gridlock. A local transportation planner told us, "We're adding the population of Chattanooga to Nashville in 5 years, and we're doing it with the road infrastructure of 2005. Something has to break." A Broadway bar owner told us off the record, "I've watched this city price out every musician, chef, and artist that made it interesting. Now we're a bachelorette party theme park with a Fortune 500 economy attached. We didn't become the next Austin. We became worse." The cultural cost is equally brutal. Lower Broadway, which was honky-tonks and dive bars, is now bachelorette party industrial complex and celebrity-owned vanity bars charging $14 for Bud Light. East Nashville's vintage shops and local restaurants are being replaced by $18 avocado toast brunch spots that wouldn't look out of place in Williamsburg. The Gulch's glass towers and rooftop bars where a cocktail costs $22 and the bartender moved here 6 months ago from LA. The locals who made Nashville interesting can't afford to live there anymore. A local musician told us, "Nashville used to be where you came to make it. Now it's where you come after you've already made it somewhere else." The dream moved out when the rent hit $2,200 for a one-bedroom. Picture this: Saturday night on Broadway, December 2025. You're surrounded by pedal taverns, bachelorette parties, and matching Nash Bash shirts. And tourists who think Nashville is a themed experience you can buy with a $200 bar crawl ticket. The honky-tonks are still there, but they're owned by private equity and decorated like country music Disneyland. Live music plays, but the band is from Nebraska and learned to play wagon wheel last month. Your Uber takes 40 minutes because I-65 is gridlocked and Broadway is closed for another bachelorette party bus. You pay $16 to park. You spend $80 on drinks. And you realize this isn't Nashville. This is what Nashville became when everyone showed up looking for what Nashville used to be. Here's what makes Nashville number one. Every other city on this list transformed in one dimension. Columbus got manufacturing, Phoenix got semiconductors and a water crisis. Boise got overflow, Austin got tech congestion, Miami got finance and flooding, Detroit got resurrection, Nashville got all of it simultaneously. Corporate relocations, plus population explosion, plus infrastructure collapse, plus cultural erasure, plus housing crisis, plus complete identity death. And it happened in half the time it took Austin. By 2026, Nashville will have fully completed its transformation from Southern Music City to comprehensive economic powerhouse with no soul left. It became what Austin was 10 years ago in half the time, with twice the infrastructure problems, 3 times the cultural damage, and none of the preparation. The city that was supposed to be the affordable escape became the thing people are escaping from faster than anywhere else in America. That's the thing about transformation. It's only exciting if you're the one who wanted it, and in Nashville, the people who wanted it just priced out everyone who made it worth wanting. 7 cities, 7 transformations that already happened while you weren't looking. Columbus got Intel's $20 billion. Phoenix got TSMC and a water crisis. Boise lost its soul to California in 4 years. Austin became the congestion it was supposed to escape. Miami built billion-dollar towers on flooding streets. Detroit came back from the dead. Nashville erased itself faster than Austin did. By the end of 2026, they won't just look different, they'll be different. And here's what nobody's saying. The smart money already moved 18 months ago. The transformation isn't coming. It's done. Intel's cranes are already up. TSMC is hiring now. Boise's median is already $557,000. Austin's I-35 is already worse than LA. Miami's king tides already flood Brickell. Detroit already grew. Nashville already hit $475,000, and the locals already got priced out. The pattern is clear. Corporate relocations and remote work are remaking American geography faster than any time since World War II. The winners got the investments. The losers built the cities and got pushed out. Your city might be next. Or it already happened and you just haven't noticed yet. If this changed how you see where America's headed, hit the like button and drop a comment on which transformation hit closest to home.